first stop on the last road to home was Canada, where families like this one made sure that my walk from Vancouver to the American border wouldn't be forgotten. Then at last, after 3 years, there was my homeland, America. Like someone falling in love all over, I lost my heart to the skyscrapers of Seattle and the forests and whitewaters of the Pacific Northwest. The roads could be as windy as they wished, for that only meant more surprises ahead along the road, like these bison. So much in love again was I with my own homeland, I let a summer and the fall pass almost unnoticed before I reached the 2-mile-high peaks of the Continental Divide. Warm campfire, fresh bed of pine needles. This is how I had to spend a lot of nights on the walk when I didn't have a home to stay in. I didn't even have a campfire a lot of times. I can remember, for instance, when I was crossing the Rocky Mountains in the dead of winter. I was crossing over Togety Pass near Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's 25 below zero and there must have been 3 feet of snow blowing on the ground. I didn't even have a tent. I just slept each night in the snow, just wrapped in my sleeping bag and a Gore-Tex jacket. I stayed warm, even though I woke up each morning with 6 inches of fresh snow on my face. I sure gained a lot of respect for those pioneers that crossed this country a long time ago on foot. How they did it, I'll never know. With the mountains behind me, I followed the valleys into Wyoming and my first real Thanksgiving meal in 4 years. How thankful indeed I continued to be in the rest of my walk across America's heartland. This was a nation so remarkably blessed with food, history, opportunities, and, of course, happiness. If you ask me, those final miles went by much too quickly. Well, my body's relieved, but I think my spirit's a little sad at all the people I'm leaving behind, and all the families that took care of me, all the moms and pops back there. But I'm also very, very happy because it means I get to see my own family again. As my friends and neighbors from Ohio joined with me to walk those last few miles, I was reminded of all the people who in their own way had been walking with me for my entire journey.
Hi, everybody.
If they only knew how often their letters and prayers had been the only things that kept me going. I had walked over 20,000 miles through 20 countries on 5 continents. It was the highlight of my life to know that I had reached a goal that everyone else had said could never be achieved. I had gone through what seemed like 1,000,000 cans of baked beans, dozens of pairs of socks, and incredibly, I was only on my 4th pair of Rocky boots. And now, I was home. I will never forget this day if I live to be 150. And just as millions of other people helped me get around the world, you can include yourself in that numbers, because this is just as important. Coming home. I want to say that that I love you. I love you. Thank you. Those tears I cried when I stepped up onto that front porch that morning had been building steadily all day. I had come to the end of my dream. When I left that same home 4 years before, there were those who warned that only a nightmare could come from such foolishness as walking around the world. To be so trusting of people was to risk losing everything, especially my life, they cautioned. Still, I ventured forth. I had to know the truth. What is the truth I was to find? It is that love still lives as strongly as ever. That love is a force as real and powerful as any in our universe. I know, because I felt it everywhere, from the crowded streets of New York City to the loneliest mud hut in Pakistan. The truth is that I am your son and your brother, and you are more than just my neighbor. You are my family. The truth is that for all the ugliness and hurt we see each day, there are a million times more acts of compassion and beauty that pass silently unnoticed. The truth is that I never did leave home. Home was never ahead of me, and it was never behind me. I was there all along. Know that even as you're watching this, there's a mother somewhere in Thailand laughing as her children play beside a golden rice paddy, while in Ireland, a young man is picking daisies from a beautiful green field to give to his red-haired sweetheart. And in the rugged mountains of Yugoslavia, there's a gypsy family huddled around a campfire, weary from another day of chopping wood. The people who share this planet may look different, but they have the same hopes, the same fears, the same yearning for peace and happiness in their lives as you and I. And to all the people of the world who opened up your homes and your hearts to me, I want you to know that your love will always shine above all else in this magical tale that has so enriched my life. The triumph of the world walk is yours as much as it is mine. I'll never forget you.